is me, the drinker, and I've just been to see Wakanda Forever. Fucking Christ, man. I mean, I wasn't expecting amazing things from this film, but it managed to subvert even those expectations. I mean, I said this on Twitter, and I think this is probably the best analogy I can give you. If Black Panther was Wonder Woman, for example, then this is Wonder Woman 1984. It's that level of shittiness and that much of a dive in quality from the first one. And I wasn't even a massive fan of the first movie. But fucking hell, it's just like it succumbs to pretty much every negative aspect of the MCU. Like every problem that the MCU has got at this point is condensed into this one film. It's like it's overblown, it's overstuffed with ridiculous CGI. It's just like a battle scene after battle scene. None of it has any weight to it. None of it has any meaning behind it. It is it is slow, it's ponderous, the villain is absolutely shit beyond belief. Like Namor is just like the most forgettable, crappy, unthreatening bad guy I think I've ever seen. His origin story makes no sense. None of the characters' motivations really make any sense in this movie. Of course, because it's Marvel Phase Four. It's the girl power show, naturally. So pretty much the entire cast is female. Like apart from Namor. Uh, Basically every major character in this movie is a woman. Uh, might as well just embrace where the MCU is going. I suppose this movie is just the ultimate expression of everything that Phase Four was. I felt, apart from, and I will praise this in a second, apart from the very beginning and the very end, which were genuinely had some lovely moments in there, I didn't feel a single thing throughout this film. It felt like there was no stakes. There was no, there was nothing emotionally to get to grapple with in this. When it came to like you know the protagonist and the antagonist having their fight at the end, I felt nothing because they had no particular beef. There was no real history between them. There was nothing that was built up. It's garbage. It's just sheer, complete, and total garbage. Like I say, it's the worst aspects of everything in the MCU all put into one movie. I'll do, before I answer like any super chats or anything, I guess I'll just give you a quick rundown of the story as best I can. And I will start by praising it, believe it or not, because the opening scene is very good. It deals with Chadwick Boseman's death, or sorry, T'Challa's death in universe. He's dying of unspecified illness number three or whatever. But Shuri is working desperately to try and find a cure for him. The problem is they need the magical bullshit herb from the first movie, but it was all destroyed by fucking Captain Mega Death or whatever his name was. Killmonger, that's it. Yeah, he burned it all. So they've been trying to synthesize a new version of it, and they've been unsuccessful. And so she's not in time to save his life, and he passes away. And that moment actually gave me some hope for the film because it hits hard, it's poignant, and it's just very matter of fact when you find out about it, as death quite often is. It comes suddenly sometimes. So that's well handled, and it reminded me a little bit of the start of Thor: Love and Thunder, where you get a pretty hard hitting, emotionally impactful scene right off the bat, and it lures you into thinking it's going to be good, and then that's it's just downhill from there. But yeah, they have his funeral and stuff, and that's when it starts to go stupid. Like it starts off with a nice burial scene out in the forest, very simple, very restrained, very good. Just let the actors act, because you've got some good people involved in this. Angela Bassett, man, fucking knocks it out of the park in this movie. Whatever shit material she has to work with, she sells it 100%. So I'll give her full credit for this one. She's a good actress. But yeah, then the funeral devolves into a fucking like spaceship flying overhead and like picking up T'Challa's coffin and teleporting it up with the magical bullshit power of Wakandan technology and then flying it away somewhere. Where does it go? Don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, Then it skips to a year later. So we're going a year ahead then, and the Queen of Wakanda now, Angela Bassett, she goes into the UN, and the other countries basically want vibranium from the Wakandans. They've been promised it. They said that the Wakandans said that they were going to open up trading with the rest of the world, and they need vibranium to make weapons to protect the planet from threats like Thanos or whatever in future. And the Wakandans are like, no, you're not getting any. And so they're getting pissed off with them. And she just gives them a good old dressing down. Naturally, it's a white man that she gives the dressing down to. So, she puts him in his place right off the bat. And I just thought, wait a minute, the reason these people want vibranium is because it's a really powerful, defensive technology that can be used to make armor, spaceships, weaponry, all kinds of amazing stuff that can help to protect the entire planet. That thing that you fucking live on. But no, the Wakandans have decided that the rest of the human race can't be trusted with it, and so she's like, "No, you're not getting any. Fuck you." And I just thought, wait, the Wakandans are the good guys? Are you sure? Because this seems like really bad behavior. Like these guys are legit assholes. They don't want to help their fellow human beings. But yeah, fine, okay. They're not willing to help, so she heads back to Wakanda, which for some reason, that magical bullshit shield that they had over the place that camouflages it, so you can't see all the cities and the technology and stuff. That's still running. I don't know why, because everybody fucking knows where Wakanda is now, and they know what's inside it. There's no point in hiding it anymore. But it's just like the shield's just a thing that was in the first movie, so here it is. It's back in this new movie. Yeah, it doesn't make the slightest bit of sense. But anyway, yeah, Shuri's like kind of lost in grief, I suppose. She's not really dealing with the death of T'Challa, so she's absorbed in her work. But anyway, it flashes over to then the Atlantic Ocean somewhere, because the Wakandans won't give the rest of the world any of their vibranium. They've started just searching in other places for it, and I love it because there's this ridiculous line of dialogue from the Wakandans like, "No, it's impossible. There can't be vibranium anywhere apart from Wakanda," and I'm just like, why? Like, it came from a meteorite. Like, maybe there was more than one meteorite. Maybe it broke into pieces. Like, it could be scattered all over the planet for all you know. You don't know the slightest thing about this. But anyway, they find some in the deep ocean, and they're about to start harvesting it. When wouldn't you know it, Namor appears with his army of fish people, and I'm just going to call him Ocean Man from now on because I can't stop thinking of Az whenever I see him for some reason. Anyway, Ocean Man and their others, they killed the crew and destroy the ship, and that's the beginning of like the main plot line essentially. The UN and the Americans think it was the Wakandans who sabotaged this expedition, whereas it wasn't. Namor swims upriver all the way into the heart of Africa because that's the thing you can do apparently, and appears right at the riverbank where the Queen and Shuri are having a nice little heart-to-heart moment. None of these moments are allowed to last for more than a minute or so before the next dumb thing happens. He swims up out of the water. Sorry, he flies out because he's got... Fuck, I can't... I can't. I'm trying to describe this. This is so fucking stupid. He's, he's got... He's got little miniature wings that come out of his feet. I'm done. This fucking movie. Um, he's got miniature wings that come out of his feet, which allow him to fly up through the air. Because, yeah, okay, that's how physics works. And whatever. Anyway, so he comes to them and he's like, "Look, I'm Ocean Man, and my kingdom is under the water, and it's been hidden for all these years, just like Wakanda. So you guys will be empathetic to my plight. But yeah." We're worried now because people have started searching for all the vibranium that's underneath our city, our underwater city, and we want your help to stop this. Because, again, this is how tenuous the fucking story for this movie is. The device that these scientists used to detect the vibranium, which is deep under the ocean, was built by an American scientist, okay? And they only have one, and this person apparently didn't leave any diagrams or plans or anything or instructions for how to build this thing. It's literally just her. She's the only person who knows how to make another one. And so Namor, Ocean Man, he needs to get that scientist and kill her so that she can't make another one of these vibranium detectors and it'll lead more people to his underwater city. Now, never mind the fact that the position of this thing was clearly marked. Like this entire expedition that went to this place and found the vibranium, they would have logged their position in the middle of the ocean, so people would know exactly where it fucking is. It doesn't matter if you stop any more detectors getting built. They've already detected the vibranium. They know exactly where they need to go now. So killing the scientist who built this device is going to accomplish fuck all at this point. But you know, that's the plot of this movie. He wants to kill the person who made it, and so they're like, "No, we can't help you." And so he fucks off anyway. He makes some vague threats that he either they're with him or they're against him, kind of thing. So they realize they have to get the scientist because apparently they really care about this one American scientist. They want to protect her. Even though they clearly don't give a fuck about the rest of the world or even the countries which border Wakanda because they've allowed them to lapse into war, poverty, genocide, famine, whatever else, and they've never lifted a finger to help anyone throughout their history. But suddenly, this one girl is like the key to everything and she must be saved, apparently. So they go off to rescue her, and wouldn't you know it, it turns out to be Riri Williams. I know a little bit about her from the comics because people have told me about her. She basically becomes Ironheart, and she becomes the new Iron Man essentially. And she's younger than Tony. She's like fucking built her first supercomputer when she was like 12 months old or something. Like it's that level of stupid over exaggeration, of child prodigies. Like nobody can just have a realistic like upbringing and development. It's like they have to be super smart from a ridiculously young age. Anyway, she's a college student. She built this entire detector thing. She also built an Iron Man suit in her spare time because that's the thing you can totally do. She built a quantum supercomputer for no other reason than she forgot her password to her laptop and she needed a quantum supercomputer in order to decode the encryption on it. Yes, that's her character. So they go to her, and that's where you got that scene that you've probably been familiar with if you've been looking at social media, where they try to bring her in. They want to take her to Wakanda for protective custody, basically. They want to take her in. And she starts throwing like fucking space heaters and stuff at them and speakers. Michonne from The Walking Dead is there because, yeah, the I need to get the pronunciation of this right because I can never fucking do it. The Dora Milaje, they are essentially just superhumans at this point. Like you talk about power creep in series like this. They are powerful to the point where they could beat the shit out of Thor. Probably they are super fast. They've got superhuman strength. They could like fucking chop a tank in half with their spears because they just can. Like why not? Anyway, she goes along. They managed to persuade her to come with them through threat of force. The FBI show up to arrest her because they know that they're looking for her as well. There's a chase scene, which is dumb. It takes forever as well to get going because everything in this movie is slow as fuck. There's a horrifying scene actually where they're about to go over a bridge, right? And a bunch of cops are blocking the way, like a roadblock in front of them. They're squad cars. They're aiming their guns at them. And old Ironheart picks up a car and throws it at them, and it explodes, fucking kills everyone. Like, probably a dozen guys just got wiped out there. And they're just cops. Like, they're not evil. They're just civilian cops who are there to arrest someone because they've been told to. And the film never comments on this. Like, these innocent guys just got killed in the line of duty, and it's no problem. Just carry on, have a laugh. It's all good fun. But then Ocean Man shows up and fucking he gets kicked onto the bridge on a whale. That's true, by the way. That actually happens. A whale, I think it's an orca or something, just kind of punts him with its tail up onto the bridge so that he can start fighting them, and takes Riri Williams and Shuri prisoner down to his Ocean Man world so that he can show them what he's about. And that's when you get to see his backstory. And it's basically that, yeah, he was like an Aztec. Oh, wait, I need to. What was his fucking actual origin? I'm not sure if it's an Aztec or an Inca or something. Okay, he was a token. Right, a Talocan. So basically, just some stand in for like the Aztecs or something like that from South America. Peaceful tribe, like 600 years ago. The conquistadors arrived and oppressed his people because, it's a Black Panther movie. There's got to be more oppression here. And yeah, they killed most of them through smallpox and disease and war and stuff. And the survivors got the magical bullshit herb, which apparently grew there as well, but it grew underwater because this stuff's versatile as fuck. So they took it and it turned them into fish people, and then they went underwater, and they've been hiding there ever since. And so that's his origin. So like he's very protective of his people, and he's worried now that their new home is going to get destroyed by the surface dwellers. So his grand plan is that they think he just wants to kill Riri Williams, and like I say, everyone's fucking willing to go to war for this random girl that they've never met before. But then he's like, no, it's gone beyond that now. What I need to do is kill everyone, literally the entire human race, and I want your help to do it. So basically, the Ocean Man and his Atlantis people, we're going to team up with Wakanda, and we will kill all of humanity. And there's no moral problem with doing that whatsoever. So, what do you say? Will you help us? And funnily enough, she's like, "Nah, I'm not sure about this one." So they get rescued by whatever T'Challa's girlfriend was called in the previous movie. I can't even remember the character's name. She's so thoroughly forgettable that I literally forgot she even existed, actually. It wasn't until she shows up about halfway through the film that I was like, oh shit, you were a thing, yeah. Anyway, she shows up, rescues Shuri and Riri Williams. They go back to Wakanda, and then Ocean Man and his ocean-going mates show up and float in on whales and stuff, and start blasting water up through the streets and everything. Because again, that's something you can do. They have water grenades, terrifying indeed. So the grenade blows up in front of you and you get wet. Awful. The carnage, it's horrific. Angela Bassett gets killed in it, sadly. She dies saving Riri Williams because, again, Riri Williams is the most important person in the fucking universe, apparently. Everyone's willing to, fight wars for her and die for her. Don't know why. She does fuck all in the entire course of the movie. Apart from kill police officers, because that's fine, apparently. Then Namor, an ocean man, he's like, right, I came here with some of my army to teach you a lesson, Shuri, because you're the queen now. I'll be back in a week, and I need your answer about this whole going to war and wiping out the human race thing. Hope you don't disappoint me. And then off he goes. It's like, what is happening? Fucking insane. So they're like, oh shit, what do we do now? So Shuri's able to get because she's a mega genius, obviously, because everyone is in this movie. You can do quantum mechanics and biotechnology and stuff when you're like 12 years old. It's fine. She discovers that a bracelet that Namor gave her contains some strands of the magical bullshit herb. And so she combines that with the work that she'd done to try and save T'Challa, and for some reason some of his DNA as well, and they mesh all together in the big stupid supercomputer thing, and it gives them a new magical bullshit herb, which can turn her into Black Panther once more. So she takes that, and she sees a vision of Captain Mega Kill, obviously. I don't know why. They're almost implying that she might go to the dark side or something. When you're supposed to see your ancestors, and he's there, and like Jordan Peterson, Michael B. Jordan. I'd love to see Jordan Peterson in this movie, man. Michael B. Jordan's like, you see, you got to handle business like me. Are you going to be honorable, or are you going to win? And it's implying she might turn evil. Oh no. Anyway, so she's Black Panther now, and then suddenly everyone follows her, and then they take a Wakandan submarine, because that's the thing that they totally have ready to go. It's like the size of a fucking World War II aircraft carrier, but it's a submarine. They go out to the middle of the ocean, they lure Ocean Man in, and they manage to lure him into one of their magical bullshit spaceships that whizzes around, and it's a room. And I kid you not, I'm going to say this with a straight face, right? This is their plan. They get him in a room inside this magical bullshit spaceship with heaters. Heaters. Because they discover he draws his power from the ocean, and so if they can dry him out, uh, then he won't be dangerous anymore. Oh, Christ on a bike. Who wrote this? So they start to dry him out, and then all the other fish people are fighting the Wakandans, again with swords and spears and stuff on top of the giant, aircraft carrier submarine thingy. The Wakandans are getting their asses kicked because the fish people have got more numbers. Riri Williams shows up in a full Ironheart suit, which looks like ass. Like genuinely, it looks like it was rendered on a PS3 or something. I miss the Tony Stark's Iron Man suits, like the early ones where you actually got to see mechanical stuff going on. You got to see all the working parts and everything. You feel like it was an actual workable flight suit. This is just fucking garbage. Uh, anyway, they fly. Again, this is part of Shuri's plan. They want to fly Ocean Man out to the middle of a desert and drop him there because then he'd be miles from the ocean and he won't be able to get more water into him. He stabs his spear through the fucking floor of the spaceship and causes it to crash right on the beach, just right on the edge of the desert. So, he's almost there, but not quite. And then he has a fight with Shuri. There's no weight to it. I mean, it's just two CGI people like beating the shit out of each other, just like the first Black Panther. But he gets the upper hand and stabs her right through the fucking torso with his spear. I mean, I kid you not, it goes right through the middle of her, right? And it's like, so he's staggering away to get back to the ocean because he's Ocean Man and he's too dried out. And she pulls the spear out of herself, like snaps off the end and pulls herself right off, then does a fucking flying flip right over the top of him, lands in front of him, and then like fires one of the booster rockets for the crashed ship that they were on right into him, so it like incinerates him. She's got a spear right through her. Like this thing should have severed her spinal column. Like, 'cause as far as I know, she's not a superhuman. Like she took the magical bullshit, her, but that doesn't make her invincible. She can still be hurt. But this, Christ, she just keeps going. I love as well because they try to make her look all intimidating in the Black Panther suit, and this poor actress is built in such a way like she makes a rake look fucking morbidly obese. She is like there's nothing to her. And they're trying to make her like put her in this suit to make her look all scary, and it's like you're not doing it, man. It's just not happening. Anyway, so that like dries him out completely, and he's like, I've lost, and she's almost about to kill him, and then she's like, no, if you yield to me, then we'll make peace, and I'll protect your kingdom. So he's like, yeah, fine, whatever, and that's it. That's the war over, and they all go their separate ways. She returns to Wakanda as the new Black Panther. Riri Williams goes back to her daily life of inventing quantum supercomputers, like made out of fucking crisp wrappers and stuff, because apparently that's stuff you can do. And the film ends, and I'll end with a tiny bit of praise. It ends on a nice, poignant note, actually, where she just sits on the beach, Shuri, and burns the ceremonial robes that she wore during T'Challa's funeral, and just looks out to the ocean, and you get a little montage of Chadwick Boseman from the first movie, and it's really nice. It's a very fitting tribute, and it's a very nice way to cap off an otherwise god awful movie. So it's like this film, if I had to like sum it up, it's like 98% absolute incomprehensible garbage, and then 2% like at either end just bookended with like really nice heartfelt stuff. But that's all it is. It's like the best elements of the movie are just coasting on the memory of Chadwick, and the rest of it is nothing. It's meaningless. Oh yeah, and what's his name? Martin Freeman's in it a little bit as well, as whatever the fuck his name is. I don't even care what he's called. Sure, he just still refers to him as the colonizer. And there's a bit where he's been arrested, and Michonne goes to rescue him, And there he is, all like shackled up, and she's like, "Ah, a colonizer in chains, eh? Now I've seen everything." And I just thought, yeah, okay, you had to do it, didn't you? Stick with a winning strategy, eh? So yeah, he's an absolute pussy in it because that's basically the character that Martin Freeman plays. Sorry, but that's Wakanda Forever. Look at that! I gave a summary of it in like 25 minutes. This movie is an absolute travesty of a film. I can't believe it was made by the same people who made the first one. I mean, like I said earlier, I've got no particular love for the first Black Panther, but it is a fucking masterpiece compared to this. At least Killmonger was a memorable villain. At least he had some sort of like motivation for doing what he was doing. You could kind of get behind him. But with this, like, Ocean Man is just a joke. He doesn't even look intimidating. Like, you know, say what you want, but like about Killmonger, but Michael B. Jordan was in shape for that role. Like he was a beast. Um, but this guy, he's kind of flabby. He's got no real muscle mass to him. It's like they just picked the actor to do it, and he put in no fucking work for the role. He just went into it as he was, and the way the character is, he spends 95% of his time shirtless. So you'd kind of think I should really try and get in shape for this. A lot of people are going to be seeing me, but no, again, nothing. And yeah, I think Shuri was a bad choice to replace T'Challa. I think fucking what's her name, Michonne, who plays the head of the Dora Milaje. Yeah, she probably would have been a much better choice because she's got a much more like potent connection to T'Challa. She was much more involved in the first film than Shuri was. She's in better shape. She's physically pretty big and strong. She could probably do that role much more effectively. I mean, fuck, man. Even I kid you not, Angela Bassett could even have done it. Like the Queen then taking on the role of the Black Panther because she is ripped, man. I never saw this about her before, but there's loads of scenes where she's like, her shoulders and stuff and her arms are exposed and she's got like proper muscle mass going on. I was like, fucking hell. For someone who's like, I don't know, 60 odd years old or something, she's in incredible shape. I was like, why not have an old as fuck Black Panther just kicking ass? Like, I'd love to see that. That'd be better. But yeah, Shuri, man. Ugh. I mean, they made her a bit more likable, I guess, in this than they did in Black Panther and fucking Infinity War, which was just an insufferable arsehole. But man, there's only so much the actress can do. But yeah, that is my thoughts, I guess, so far on Wakanda Forever. Christ. Yeah, I'm sorry I ranted and I basically ignored everyone in chat during that, but like a gigantic shit, I just had to get this out, and now I feel better. Jesus Christ. Give me 1 second just to, while yeah, there we go. See, a vengeful Dowager Queen Black Panther would have been cool. It would have done because she's the one who's most cut up about T'Challa's death, and she even talks about herself. Like, she's the ruler of the most powerful country on earth, which is fucking bullshit. Like, try going to war with America and see how well that works out for you. But anyway, she's lost her entire family. And she's sacrificed everything for her role, and she can't do anything now. And I thought that would be a great basis for a new Black Panther, and she would be genuinely conflicted about, do I take the harsh path of meting out revenge and being super like violent and hardcore, or do I show compassion and restraint? That's again, it'd be an interesting thing to play with an older character, and I think the actress has got the absolute gravitas you need to convey something like that. It would have been great to see her do that kind of role. Um, yeah. Wakanda, the bestest forever. Okay, give me 1 second just while I bring up the super chat list because I wasn't sort of tuned into it while I was doing this. Right, okay, so organization and supers. Talk amongst yourselves for a few seconds while I bring this up. Okay. So the first one was from Troy, ya boy. He says, "Buy yourself a cool Shuri action figure." I would rather insert it into my own rectum, thank you, than have one of them. Big Docs says, "I hope you got a good laugh out of my petition to be Ryan Drake lover, brother. Lol. But if somehow it gets traction, I'd love the opportunity. Cheers." Well, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. I think we do have an actress already picked out to play Anya, so it could be tricky. Michael Peterson says, "I better contribute a bit to your cinema tickets so you can go see it, so we don't have to." I mean, I I kid you not, man. I was fucking pissed off when I was watching this movie. Not because I cared about the characters particularly, and not because I thought it was like tarnishing any particular legacy, like you quite often get. I was pissed off because I'd lost 3 hours of my life to this fucking thing. That's 3 hours I'll never get back. You know, do you imagine the things I could have accomplished in those 3 hours? The amount of like time I could have spent on Pornhub? Like I could have done great things with that time, but instead I was there watching that fucking movie. Hence my anger now. Next one is Kevin O'Neill. He says, "Drinker, my boy, are there any plans for critical doggo plushies in the future?" That's something we need to look into for sure. If so, Smokey's plushie had better have balls. Unlike him. Well, I mean, it's better that he doesn't have them because honestly, he tried to fuck everything that moves, and I do not need to be woken up by that kind of thing. Nate the Great says, "R.I.P. Kevin Conroy. You were the Batman." Ah, indeed. Yep. Rest in peace, my friend. Michael Maloney says, "Mexican Iron Man went ballistic." I don't blame him in the slightest. Yeah, the portrayal of Namor and his people is fucking ridiculous. Doey says, "Does T'Challa die off screen?" Yeah, he does. So you don't see it happen, but it's like it's the events of the first scene are taking place while he's dying. So it's like it's happening in another room or something. And yeah, they don't show it on screen, but you just get like a picture of him on a wall, like a mural of him. I mean, it's something. Like I say, it's at least it's fairly tastefully done. They didn't try and like CGI him into it or anything. The Movie Cynic says, "Drinker, huge fan. I want to say thank you. Your advice in February helped my channel to take off." Nice, thank you, man. Best compliment is, "You're the American drinker." Hey, made a reference to you in my last She-Hulk video that would give you a laugh. Well, I need to watch that then. So the Movie Cynic. So yeah, apparently his channel's really taken off. So go take a look. Mexican Iron Man. Hey, he says, "Saw this movie last night and it blows chunks. It's awful in the worst way." Yep, no fucking lie there. I'd rather eat a 10-day-old doner kebab than see this movie again. Yeah, I lived in England for a while. 4 out of 10. I think you're being generous there. Honestly, I'm around the 2 or the 3 mark. But yeah, I don't blame you for hating this in the slightest. I would definitely eat a 10-day-old doner kebab than watch this again. Wayland Pacificus says, "Careful, Icarus." Yeah. Dark Hour says, "Hey Drinker, no opinion of Black Panther 2. Just want to say hi. I'm working channel. Possibly found my niche. Hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Go away now." Nice one. Thank you, man. Oh yeah, Dark Hour, we had you on for the Last Action Hero happy hour. That was awesome, man. I'm glad your channel's doing well. Yeah, that was good fun. Chucksenhausen said, "Namor, Shuri, Ironheart, they are no match for Hawk from Cobra Kai." That is very true. Also, this film would be better if they replaced Chadwick with Kirk Lazarus. I mean, everything would be better if we did that. I want to see a Kirk Lazarus movie. Oh, Jesus. Anthony Willis says, "Have you seen an interview with Christopher Eccleston with Big Finish where he talks about how the writers are the most important part of filmmaking?" No, I haven't actually, but well, I mean, in a lot of ways they are. They're the ones who lay the foundations, and the director and the actors have got to build on top of that. And if the foundations are shit, well, it doesn't matter how good everyone else is. You're not going to be able to make it work. Just seeing what else people are saying here. Yeah, they had to sneak in the colorizer and lesbian couple because it has to reflect the world we live in today. You see, yeah, I bet that's not going to get shown in China if the film even gets released there. I know they're not keen on the subject matter of Wakanda. Okay, yeah. So Michael B. Jordan came off of Creed. He had to be ripped. I mean, to be fair, I don't think he's ever like out of shape. I imagine the guy's pretty big generally. He's an A-list actor now, and he's doing a lot of these actiony roles. He's probably all in pretty good shape. I saw the trailer actually for Creed 3, and bizarrely, it actually looked okay. Yeah. Rocky's not in it this time, sadly, so it'll be interesting to see how it does without Stallone to prop it up. Uh, Next one says John Smith says Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, has died. Huge loss. Yeah, it's sad indeed, man. Thomas Mullins said, "Damn, couldn't join the stream in time, but this is the first stream I could join at all. Somehow, love your work, Drinker. Followed you for 2 years now. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for the donation, my friend." Tenko Fox says, "Love your videos and your shirt." Yes, it's the Nostromo. Yeah, I just got this recently. Actually, I really like it. It fits great, and it makes me feel awesome. That and the Top Gun T-shirt. I just feel like an absolute boss when I wear them. Yeah. Can you gender swap the hero of Rogue Nation, please? Yeah, I've actually got Tessa Thompson playing him, so I'm very excited about that. Oh, how we would laugh. Alex F. Drinker! Yes, thank you. Snash that like button. Yeah, don't forget to snash. Next one is Wayland Bucephus says RIP Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman for 20 plus years in the animated series and the Arkham games. Yeah, he had a hell of a run. It was impressive as fuck. TC says, why is Mr. Nimbus from Rick and Morty in Black Panther now? It's fucking. It's a hell of a movie. Ted Comet says, "Let's fight the fish people on the water." Genius, yeah, that was smart thinking right there. Um, Christ, this movie, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like they brainstormed ideas and they just ran with it. They didn't stop and think, well, how do we develop this into some kind of cohesive story? It doesn't matter, just do it. And is this just how Marvel is now? I can't shake this feeling, right? That this is how Marvel movies are made now. They're trying to produce so much to such tight timescales, they just don't have time to think about anything. Just like, don't think, just make stuff. Doesn't matter. Just keep the content flowing. That's all it is. That's what this movie is. It's just a bunch of stuff that's not connected to anything. It doesn't have any real motivation set up, no payoff to anything. There's no emotional investment in any of it. Like I say, anything that you get from this film emotionally is just derived from stuff that happened in the real world. Chadwick Boseman passing away. But that's not what you are supposed to rely on with your movie. You're supposed to tell a good fucking story. Waylon Bucephus says people were paid to make this, right? Apparently, yeah, and I think they were paid a lot. Rory C says, "Sup, drinker from Ireland. Remember you were talking about digital copies of things being altered. See, Taylor Swift recently altered song videos where she removed the word fat. Will probably only get worse." Yep. Yeah. Don't, don't go relying on any kind of digital media because the moment you do that, all you have is a license to download the original source file, and whatever company owns it can alter that source file in any way that they want, or they can even revoke your license if they feel like it. Then you ain't got it anymore. Get yourself a fucking Blu-ray, whatever it is, and use that. Because once you have it, that is it. They can't fuck with it for the rest of your life. You own it. And yeah, that's. I hate this idea of going back and changing art because it needs to move with the times. It needs to alter itself to whatever fucking fads and hang-ups that we have going on now. It's like Rory C says, it's only going to get worse. Jackson Lindgren says, "Now I can't stop thinking about a version of Endgame where Jordan Peterson drops into Wakanda via the Bifrost, buttons up his suit and proceeds to roast all of the boss girls with logic and reason and says, 'Clean your room.'" They could do with that, actually. They could do with him being a fucking consultant on the writing or something. They can pay him in hair gel, I would say. He'll be fine. Eddie Lombardo says, "Chris Gore said this movie was as bad as The Eternals." He's right. With a 3 hour runtime, this doesn't seem like it will do well in the long run. No, I think it's more like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but fuck me, you feel every single minute of that time. If this could have easily been under 2 hours, easily, because there's so much padding, there's so much flab, like scenes go on forever. Dialogue that could be resolved in like 2 minutes goes on for 10 minutes. It's that clunky and that inefficient, and that's the whole fucking movie. It's all like that. It's so bloated and so sluggish and so dull. Non Vitae Rex says, "Question: what does Riri use to power her first suit?" That's a really good question. Don't know. Apparently, it doesn't have an arc reactor because I couldn't see one on it. It just works. That's it. It just works. I mean, presumably she built her own power source for it, but you never see it. And oh yeah, I forgot to say, you know that scene in Iron Man, the first one, where Tony does like a high altitude, like attempt to break the record for like how high he can go, and like his suit ices up and stuff, and then it like cuts out, and then he falls back to the ground. This movie does basically a shot for shot remake of that. There's a chase scene going on. There's some kind of high altitude drone that's chasing them, and so Riri flies up to intercept the drone and shoot it down, but it's like 30,000 feet, so she has to go like way higher than she can go because she's not wearing any oxygen mask. It's not a pressurized suit initially. It's just like the exoskeleton with loads of holes in it and stuff, and her face is exposed. So she flies up, shoots it, and then kind of like passes out from lack of oxygen, and then falls back to the ground, and just wakes up at the last possible second to like switch her engines back on, and literally misses the ground by like this much. Like that's how close it is. She even goes over water, just like Tony did. Um, but yeah, I couldn't shake this feeling of like if you were at 30,000 feet, I'm pretty sure it's like minus 50 degrees at that altitude. Like your fucking skin, your eyeballs would freeze over. You would die. You would never mind, because she's not wearing any kind of like warm clothing or anything. It's just like what I'm wearing right now. It's just like t-shirt and jeans. So yeah, at that altitude, she would come back to Earth as a fucking icicle and smash off the ground. Like it's just yeah, more ridiculous bullshit from a ridiculous bullshit film. DIY Dom the Builder says the heater broke. Plan B, grab salt shaker. Fucking yeah. Rezo gave me £1, so thank you. Whalen Bucephalus, it's almost like people don't know that there were white slaves too. You know, groups like the Irish or the Slavs, yeah, they were never put in chains. Yeah, exactly. None of that gets mentioned, obviously. Mr. V says, RIP Kevin Conroy, you will be missed. Yes, indeed. Just let me refresh the list here. Sorry about this. Yeah, okay. Dranzer Gigs says M'Baku should have been Black Panther. Yeah, he would have been awesome. I mean, you'd need an extra big suit for him because he is a big lad. Like, but yeah, he's mostly there just to be comic relief, really. He's just the big dumb brawler. That's what he's portrayed as. And oh, there's some scenes in there that man, it takes a lot to make me feel uncomfortable. But there it is, like when he's fighting the ocean people and he throws them back into the ocean. That's his way of fighting them, which seems like a self-defeating prophecy. But like he throws one off a boat, and he's like, ah, like fucking hammering his chest like a gorilla. And I just thought, is that really the way you want to go? I don't know, man. Like that's yeah, each to their own, I suppose. But yeah, the actor's really good. I like him. Like whenever he's on screen, he's got incredible presence just because of his sheer fucking mass. And I thought, yeah, a guy like him in the Black Panther suit would be cool. I like it. But yeah, they went the opposite direction, I guess, because, well, Marvel are not going to rest until every single hero is female at this point. So yeah, good luck to them. Pidge says Namor didn't seem like he wanted to go to war at all. Purely had those motives because the script told him to. Yeah, he's such a fucking wet rag of a character, Namor. Like, with Killmonger, he was burning with anger, and like Michael B. Jordan was able to convey that. Like again, you know, not a great movie, but like you at least understood where he was coming from. This is a man who'd lived his life fighting and killing, and in the name of a country that he hated, and you know he was torn between his different identities. He hated Wakanda, but he hated America as well. You know, all of these things like helped to contribute to him as an antagonist. But Namor is just this fucking hippie, happy, clappy. You know, I want to kill everyone on the surface. Why? Because you know they might be a threat. I guess that's it. That's all you get from him. He's the most unthreatening antagonist I think I've seen in the MCU. Crap. Ryan Benoit says, so it's as bad as the trailer says it'll be. Yep. Did you notice the cornrows, or whatever you call that hairstyle, on the Ironheart armor's helmet? Yep. It's so fucking stupid. Oh man, Riri Williams did not belong in this movie. Like that's the problem. Like it felt like fundamentally she was shoehorned in because they had to launch the character because she is next product that everyone's expected to get excited for. She doesn't fit with Wakanda particularly. She doesn't overshadow Shuri, but like the two of them basically they don't mesh because they've got the same role. They're both like really young women who are brilliant at what they do. They're both brilliant at technology. It's like they're basically the same character. And it doesn't really make any sense for her to be there, but they're there. She's there because I guess she's going to get her own movies or she's going to get her own TV show or something, and they had to put her in somewhere, so here she is. But yeah, it just feels pointless. Like the character is a waste of time. Jammy Jam Jars says, "Hey drinker, I had friends who went to see it and they said it was pretty good. Understand it may not be your cup of tea, but is it really that bad? Yeah, it really is. I mean, I don't know what else to say to you, but based on all the things I described at the start of this video, and just looking at it purely as a series of writing constructs, and just looking at the mechanics of storytelling, the mechanics of character development, just purely academically viewed, it's a fucking disaster. It makes no sense. None of it meshes together. There's no payoff to anything because there's no setup for anything. There's no emotional investment in anything. Like it's a terrible movie. It's overstuffed, overblown, bloated, long, slow, just clunky, inefficient. The dialogue shit. The times where it's trying to be funny are about as funny as She-Hulk. The times where it's trying to be exciting and dramatic are unintentionally hilarious. Like it fails at basically everything it tries to do. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. But like, if your friends went and saw this and enjoyed it, I really have to question what they see in this film. Um, Kevin O'Neill says, "R.I.P. Kevin Conroy. With all respect to Keaton and Bale, anytime I picture Batman in my head, it's with Conroy's voice. We shall never see his like again." Yeah, R.I.P. to Kevin Conroy there. Stephen Lanuto says, "Hail Drinker, just finished Dark Harvest the other day and it was a banger. Really hope you do more. Thank you, man. And yeah, I'm sure I will." The Confused Llama says, "Don't know if I should believe in the current Rotten Tomatoes scores for this one." No, don't. Um, no, if I had to percentage this, I'd put it around the 30% mark. I think the audience scores are going to tumble like crazy. I know the professional critics won't have the balls to criticize it properly. As far as they're concerned, it would be, another great movie, a triumph, because they're just going to be scared of the backlash. But the audience scores will be telling, I think. Grand Wazoo 42 says, "It's not as bad as we thought it would be. Oh my god, nice shirt, by the way." Thank you. I would say it is as bad as I thought it was going to be, if not worse, actually. I believe it or not, because I haven't talked much about it on social media or anything. I went into it actually expecting it to be quite good because I knew there was going to be a lot of emotion pent up amongst the cast and the writers and stuff. The trailers made it look pretty good. The soundtrack and everything was very like moving, and it really played on Chadwick's death. And I thought, God, there could be a lot of emotion to dredge up with this one, and I think it could work if they give a really good antagonist, a really good conflict, a reason for wanting to fight each other. Like all of that emotion pent up from his death could get transferred into this, and it could come, exploding out in a great movie. Didn't happen in the slightest, so a huge disappointment for me. Um, Josh Knight says, "Congratulations on Rogue Elements, my friend. Stoked. Thank you, man." And yeah, I can't believe how the Kickstarter's gone. It's like £250,000 it's reached already. Yeah, and we've got like a week to go, so we'll see where it ends up. But like even now, we can do great things with this film. Do shots, we can do action scenes that we never would have dreamed of before. We want to get as much practical effects in there as possible. I've been pushing hard. I want a scene where someone fires an RPG and it blows something up because those scenes just look fucking great. So, yeah, stuff like that. I want as many practical effects in this as possible. And well, people that are on the Kickstarter, they can see some of the fight scenes that the stunt team had already mocked up just for other productions. So these are the same guys that are going to be working on this, and they look great. And that's just like messing around in a warehouse full of cardboard boxes. It shows you what can be done. So yeah, this is going to be good, hopefully. Monkey God King says, "Can we do a drink or fixes now, or wait for a video?" No, I can't fix it right now, man. I would to fix this movie. I would want a complete rewrite from the bottom up, basically. Yeah, that's what it would need. I think you could do stuff with it though. That's the annoying thing. Bentastic197 says, "What's worse, the Halo TV show or this film?" I mean, I didn't watch much of the Halo show, but I would say this is probably worse. Aaron Perez says, "How they defeated Namor was the same way Lex Luthor beat Aquaman in Smallville." Is that true? They just dried him out, basically. Yeah, fucking. I'm still blown away that Shuri got a spear right through her gut, like right through her spinal column, and she's fine, no problem. Yeah. No sort of operation or anything she needed afterwards. Like, there's no hint that she's going through any kind of rehab or anything. Nothing. Christopher John says, "Why didn't M'Baku fight to be Black Panther again?" He just kind of gave up. Like, Shuri shows up in her Black Panther suit. This is another interesting thing, actually, because when T'Challa dies and Angela Bassett, sorry, I can't remember her character's name, takes over as queen, there's no challenge offered. Nobody gets the opportunity to challenge her to become king of Wakanda, which is interesting because I thought that was automatic, but I guess it's not. But I mean, yeah, she would get her ass kicked, I guess, by someone like M'Baku because he's a beast. But yeah, Shuri shows up in the Black Panther outfit, and she's like, basically, "I'm in charge now, and you need to follow my orders." And he's just like, "Okay." That's it. There's a kind of implication right at the end that he might be challenging for king, but I don't know where it goes because it's like you get the magical bullshit waterfall where people are standing on cliff edges that they shouldn't realistically be able to get onto, but whatever, it just looks nice and colourful. And the spaceship lands, and he gets out instead of Shuri, and he's like, "Yeah, Queen Shuri couldn't be here today. She's too busy or something. I want to challenge for being the king." So I don't know if he's going to be king and she'll be Black Panther, because I always thought those two were synonymous, but maybe not now. Maybe you can have one of each. So yeah, maybe it'll be that. Maybe he will be king now. I wouldn't want to fight him. The Black Intellectual says, "Unfortunately, Ryan Coogler had unfair circumstances." I mean, yeah, he was up against it with this one. That's no doubt about that. Amber W gave me $10, so thank you, and so did Kevin Whelan, so thanks to both of you guys. Niku San says, "Telling you, all these movies are making Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern look good. Don't know how they did it, but they did." Yeah, I know. That's where we're at with modern films, man. Like, the shitter they get, the better the old ones look. Dave G says, "I'd like to see a video on your take of Batman and Robin. Has problems, lots of them, but it's a nice mix of 60s camp and Batman and Burton's Batman." I mean, oh god, I'm gonna struggle to praise that one. I'm afraid, mate. It's pretty fucking bleak. Yeah, it's so fucking campy and silly. The Real Holtzinator says, "Halo has the best ship names, hands down. Ascendant, Justice, In Amber Clad, Pillar of Autumn, Truth and Reconciliation." Nuff said. Those are good fucking names. Fair play. Johnny J says, "Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars reminds me of Call of Duty. Its yearly releases, except Disney is doing worse. The bugs and jank are beyond broken, and the yearly broken games are in better shape." Well, that's the thing. At least you can improve on games with patches and stuff, but you can't do that with films. Well, not yet, anyway. Give it time. I'm sure they'll start patching them. But yeah, some real shit going on with this, like with the MCU. Excuse me. Give me 1 second while I just refresh the list. Mauler, Batman and Robin is the greatest movie of all time. You and I need to have words, sir. Oh, by the way, you were like asking me about doing EFAP for Saturday night, talking about this film. I will try to be there. If I'm not passed out on the floor, then I will join you for a bit of that. So there we go. Sorry, I've been so shit at replying to messages because I've been busy watching this fucking movie. Next one is Blackout, who says, "The message that Marvel got from Top Gun's success was don't think, just do." That's it. That's what it feels like. But yeah, it doesn't really apply when you're writing a movie. Kevin Whalen says, "You and other reviewers make this sound like the most objectively racist movie since Birth of a Nation." I mean, what can I tell you, man? I'm just calling it like I see it. Yeah, if you reverse the races on this one, oof. That would not be a pleasant experience. It would get destroyed. But yeah, I guess it's fine when it's like this. Guy with the face says, "Hi, drinker. Greetings from Arizona. Been a fan since your videos on Game of Thrones season 8. Back in the day. Will you be doing anything on God of War Ragnarok? Interested to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'll be playing that. So yeah, I know Mahler's been streaming the shit out of that game. So I'll definitely give it a go. And you can watch me get my ass kicked. But yeah, should be fun. I did very much enjoy the previous God of War game. I can't believe it's been like 4 years. Darth Goldust says, "Do you respect others' different opinions on film?" I mean, yeah, for sure. If they can back up those opinions with logical like arguments, sure. But yeah, I'm not going to stand by anyone who just says, "Well, I liked it." You know, fine. You can like it as much as you want. Doesn't make it good though. So yeah, your ability to like at least rationalize your opinions is what I would go to and what I would respect. The real Holstonator says, "You're wrong, drinker. In the future, they will just rewrite the information on your disc, then you try to play it if it isn't up to current version." Yeah, that's why you get dinosaur technology like old DVD players that aren't connected up to the internet. And there you go. Checkmate, sir. Um, the Thinking Cat says, "I just watched it and wow, I was nodding off at 2 hours. Eternals was better than this collection of mostly boring women. The dull action, 4 out of 10 total crap." Yep, I agree. Gus the Cat says, "Do you mind talking about your book briefly?" Which one? The Ryan Drake series or Dark Harvest? But yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's a kind of modern day action thriller with some horror elements and some historical mysteries woven into it. And yeah, it even has a bit of zombie action because I love a bit of that. And I've always wanted to do it in a book. So there we go. Just give me 1 second while I refresh the list here. I'll try and get through as many of these as possible. But I might end up having to do some kind of catch up. Super Nate says, "Rest in peace, the Dark Knight himself, Kevin Conroy." Cheers to you, sir. Darth Goldust Gaming says, "Favorite MCU show? Also loved your Demolition Man review." So, okay. Out of all the ones that I've seen, fucking, is there any of them been good? The one I disliked the least would probably be WandaVision. And that's because it had an intriguing premise and it had quite an imaginative presentation style, which I thought was cool. It was good. It devolved into usual MCU ridiculous bullshit, but in those early stages, I liked it. I thought it was kind of interesting. It's just a shame it didn't go somewhere more interesting than where it actually did. Yeah, people saying Eternals is better than Wakanda Forever. I mean, I think they're roughly on the same plane, you know, and it's a pretty low plane. Niku-san says Riri's armor looks a lot like the cartoon Megabots. It's worth a Google and a laugh. I need to look that up later. Andrew Polinsky says, "This isn't related to Black Panther, but did you see Count Dankula accidentally got his Twitter handle stuck due to verification?" Yeah, his Twitter handle's now Giant Penis. It's so funny because he's making light of it, but I think he's genuinely freaking out about it. It's- he's been posting up all kinds of tweets like, you know, when you're a kid and you're making a dumb face and your gran warns you that if the wind changes, it'll get stuck like that. Well, oh man, it's yeah, it's funny shit. I'm glad I haven't bothered. I'm not one of those people that like creates parody accounts or anything like that. That's a dangerous game to play, sir. Slice of Life says, "What kind of display cabinet is that behind you?" Well, this one here. I think that's from IKEA actually. You know, a lot of the stuff in this office is. I just kind of like splurged one day. But yeah, that's just like a glass fronted IKEA cabinet. So yeah, and I rigged it up with some lights on the inside so you can see all the stuff in it. But yeah, you got the Atari on the bottom, you've got Fallout stuff on the top, or sorry, the middle bit, and then it's all, you probably can't see it very well, but it's all Resident Evil, like collectibles and stuff on the top shelf, because I love me some Resident Evil. Um, Kung Fu Hot Dog says, "Drinker, I refuse to watch Black Panther 2. Jimon Honsu is my ideal T'Challa. He would be great, yeah. Oh, yeah, he would be really cool now that I think about it. I heard Martin Freeman's ex-wife in the film has blue hair. Yeah, she does, yeah. That was another pointless one. I think that's, well, it's Julie Louise Dreyfus, who I really like as an actress. I think in Veep she's fucking incredible. It's like, seriously, if you haven't watched Veep, go do it. It's just gorgeous. So fucking funny. And she's great in it, but she's just completely wasted in this. I think she's known as like Madam Hydra. Is that her character's name from the comics? I know fuck all about it, but it's like she talks constantly like she's about to deliver some great punchline to a joke, but the punchline never comes. Like everything feels like it's meant to be some gag, but it's not funny. It's really weird. I don't get what they're going for with her character at all. But yeah, she's the CIA director now apparently. Dresses in like tailored business suits and stuff, but she's got like fucking blue streaks in the front of her hair, like some kind of fucking child. Yeah, don't understand it at all. Makes no sense, but like I don't know what they're going for with that one. Um, yeah, also from Kung Fu Hot Dog, can't wait to watch The Last Samurai after watching your review. If you haven't watched The Last Samurai at this point, there's something wrong with you. Go watch it right now. Forget my stream. Go watch it. Yeah, that film is fantastic. Really loved rewatching it for that review. Yeah, the ending gets me every time, man. It's properly moving. Great stuff. He also says, Drinker, are there audio versions of your books? Yeah, there's audio versions of all my books. So yeah, if you go to the Amazon page for them, you get like Kindle, the hardback, the paperback, and the audio book. So they're all there. No problem. JJLFC says, how diverse is this? Otherwise not watching. So the film, yeah, diversity is not very high. It's a pretty homogenous cast apart from Martin Freeman. He's just your token, well, what would you call him? Token colonizer, I suppose. He's just there to get mocked, pretty much. Yeah, not much I can say there. Michael Wojus says, how long do we give it until Disney blamed its impending bad box office performance on racism? Probably till the second weekend, I would say. That's when we'll get the real picture of this film. It'll probably have a decent opening weekend, and then it'll die in the second weekend, and we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, I cannot see this one doing well. The word of mouth is not there. Daniel Glassman says, will Marvel bounce back from this series of severely disappointing and clunky installments? Thanks for everything. I don't know if they can. Their entire mindset about making movies and telling stories has to change. I just don't know how that's going to happen at this point because they're too arrogant and they're too big and they're too bloated and they've got too many projects going on. There's too much money at stake. I just don't think they've got time to stop and step back and reset and think about what they're doing. It's just go, go, go. You've got to produce more. So, yeah, I can't see it unless they have severe financial problems, but it's going to take a while for that to happen. Kieran Connolly gave me €2, so thank you very much. Loveless says, in the words of my Afro-Latina girlfriend, that movie felt like it was 3 weeks long. And I'm inclined to agree. This movie's writing is dreadfully bad. Yep. What a shame. Have a shot on me. Good. God knows I need one. Yeah, I'm going out like later tonight, so I'm going to have many fucking shots to try and forget this movie. If I don't wake up in a pool of my own urine in my back garden, then I have done something wrong tonight. Kieran Connolly says, I can't take no more. He's a shit character. Boar Legion says, loved Redemption. Thank you. I will start Dark Harvest soon and the rest of the Ryan Drake novels. Cheers and have a long drink of G&T on me. G&T sounds pretty good right now, actually. I'll take you up on that. But thanks for the donation, mate. The Scotch Hound says, love the t-shirt drinker. Thank you. Currently working on my Colonial Marines cosplay. Nice. You should definitely play Alien Isolation on the channel. That would be a good one, actually. I should have done that in the run-up to Halloween. Okay. Next one is... sorry, just give me a second. It's slow here. I'm trying to get this to refresh. Oh yeah, there we go. Radio Man says, I can't wait for my daughter to see she can become an engineer without any schooling, learn to fight without any training, and take a 5 centimeter diameter spear through the abdomen, and she'll be just fine. Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing to teach young women. That's the kind of crazy world that this movie exists in. It's batshit crazy. Moss Melendez says, Grace Randolph really liked Black Panther 2. Shocking. Yeah, I wonder how much they had to pay her to like that. I wonder if she even fucking watched it. Matthew Holloway says, Drinker, did you break out with a literary agent, Vanity Press, or just spam submissions to publishers? Yeah, forget about spam and publishers, man. They just won't accept it. But Yeah, I got an agent. Call me old fashioned, but I went the traditional publishing route where I got myself a literary agent just by submitting to a few different ones. I was lucky, got one. They represented me, and then we got our first publishing deal maybe a year later. So it's a bit of a slow process at first, but once you get going, it's all good. And yeah, I guess I'm proud to say I was very lucky with my publishing career so far. Pull Your Head Out podcast says, why are reviewers like 3C and Stuckman shilling? Fucking, like, your guess is as good as mine, man. I mean, Stuckman is just a bit of a consumer at this point. He pretty much likes everything. Yeah, and, well, if you want to watch his reviews, fine. You'll get an excellent rundown of the production history of the film. And then about 3 seconds of his actual opinion, and then that's it. You know, on to the next one. Nice one. Nice one, Chris. Great Ape says, hey Drinker, I love your videos. You're the man. Cheers. Thank you very much, man. I very much appreciate it. Thinking Cat says, will you ever cover the 1966 Batman and its film? Probably not, if I'm totally honest with you. I don't know what I could really put into the discussion on that one. Luke Mason says, I was wondering your thoughts on Roundheaded Ryan having directed TLJ, but also the best hour of TV ever in Breaking Bad's Ozymandias. Yeah, well, that's fair enough. I mean, I have no particular issues with Ryan Johnson as a director. It's his writing where he's an absolute clusterfuck of a human being, and he should never be allowed near a script in his life. But yeah, I mean, that script was written by someone else. He just directed it, and to be fair, he did a good job as a director. So not knocking him for that. But yeah, he should never be let near a Star Wars project, especially for the rest of human history. Yeah, here we go. What are your biggest hopes for the next phase of Marvel? That it's the last. I think that would probably be my biggest hope because I just can't deal with this shit anymore. I mean, I kid you not. Like, I watched this because, in a way, it's kind of my job. Like, I guess people would be expecting a review from me. If it wasn't for that, I just wouldn't bother. Or I wouldn't go to the cinema and see it. I'd probably wait for it to come out on fucking Sky Movies or something like that and just watch it for free because, yeah, I had zero interest in this one. Or pretty much any of the Marvel films at this point. Um, I'm unfortunately almost out of time because I'm going to be leaving soon to go out, but I'll do a couple more super chats and try and get through as many as I can. And any that I've missed, obviously, I'll do a catch up stream on. Napoleon Escobar says, will you be buying a ticket and giving it to a person of colour and then standing outside the theatre to make sure no harm comes to the audience? Yeah, I will do, and I'll apologise to every person I meet in the process just for existing. You know, I'm so sorry. I'll try to be reincarnated as someone more diverse next time. Yeah, that was just. TikTok is a good example of why people shouldn't be giving a voice for a huge audience because most of the time they are not equipped to handle it. You know. Hikira says, so a bunch of normal people are about to be called racist because they made a bad movie. Same old then. At least they're consistent. They are at least, yeah. I will say one thing, they stick to their principles, do Marvel. Thinking Cat says, have you ever considered doing an audio commentary whilst drunk, as the amazing atheist TJ Kirk and Paul's Ego did a food fight commentary stoned on plot? That would be fun, actually. I mean, for most of my streams, I am pretty drunk anyway, so, you know, I would just be a continuation of that. And Princess Leia Organa says, I love your videos. Could you do a review of True Detective Season 1 sometime? Thanks. God, that's an old one now. That was years ago that was out. Yeah, True Detective Season 1 was great, as I recall. Don't think I watched Season 2, though, because he switched up the whole cast and everything. But, yeah, someday. And the last one that I'll do tonight is from James Norman for £45. So thank you, sir. Says, raise a glass to Kevin Conroy, please. Best Batman there ever was. Cheers to you, Kevin Conroy. Nice. So, I guess for now, that concludes my rant about Wakanda Forever. It was shit, and it was a waste of time. And if you value your money and you want to spend it wisely, don't go and see this film, because it's not worth your time or your cash. But yeah, look out for my proper review, probably Monday. That's when I'll have time to actually make it, and I'll give my thoughts in a more cohesive manner. But for now, I'm going to go out and try and get fucked up and forget about this film tonight. So I hope the rest of you guys have a lovely evening yourselves. If you're not going out this evening, then at least drink some on me. But for now, that is all I've got for today. So go away now.